Hello, everybody, and welcome to ROKKR MN's first ever Twitch stream. This is Brett Diamond, the COO here. I'm Ashley Glassell, aka Midnight. Then we got Andy Scott Riley next to me, and we got Brian Saint, Coach Saint, down on the end there. This is our first Twitch stream, and we're so excited. We wanted to just celebrate our brand reveal with you guys today, and do a little Q&A at the end, but obviously kind of go over the trailer, kind of go over the name, what it means, how we feel about it, and then just answer your questions at the end. So Brett, do you kind of want to talk about how excited are you finally that the reveal has happened and you can say ROKKR out loud and not feel like who's listening, or can I say that right now?
So many of us have spent months thinking about the brand reveal, talking about the logo, talking about how we were going to roll it out. And it's great that now it's live and it's out in the world.
Coach Saint, how do you feel kind of just coming into ROKKR MN, how you did, and then obviously when you saw the branding, you saw the name, you heard what it meant. What was your first impression? How did you feel about it?
I mean, I was extremely impressed. I mean, I think our logo and our name and just everything behind it is easily one of the best ones in the league, if not the best.
I'm just so stoked that we can finally share it with people, you know what I mean? And the video that we brought out today was so amazing. So one of the questions that I know the chat's gonna ask later when we open it up, so I feel like we should just tackle it right away. Get into it. What does the name ROKKR mean? I saw a bunch of tweets what does that mean?
So what it means, so ROKKR translates in Old Norse as twilight.
And it translates kind of is it kind of loosely riding a rocker is what that moment is?
Exactly. So it ties to the mythology around Ragnarok, which is the end of the world in Norse mythology. And specifically, ROKKR translates as twilight of the gods. We really liked that angle. We spent a lot of time looking at going down different paths of potential names that tied to either themes that dealt with the North or dealt with different themes in Norse mythology, and we landed on ROKKR and we felt really good about it.
The word ROKKR doesn't directly translate to another word, but it kind of speaks to that moment in mythology that we just thought, would tie obviously back to Minnesota, gives people, and true, with the Vikings, you can maybe see a connection between Norse mythology, Vikings, that makes sense, but it doesn't mean hey, we're the Vikings esports team. It means, hey, we're Minnesota ROKKR. Do we want to look at the reveal trailer one more time with Twitch? Annie's here. She's our VP of Marketing and Creative here at Minnesota ROKKR. Annie, do you want to talk a little bit about the reveal video, how we kind of pieced it together, which elements are your favorite, and kind of just give us a little bit of a backstory on different elements?
Sure. Yeah. Well, first of all, shout out to True North Creative, who made the actual logo itself. So, when you hear the word twilight, there's a lot of things that could be. They explored, celestial objects, all kinds of different stuff, and they landed on this really cool helmeted figure. He just appears in that twilight moment. He's kind of emerging from the shadows and lit with the moonlight with that blue glint on the side and coming also from within. So that's the idea, is that there's sort of this mystical moonlight on the outside, but it's also coming from the inside.
One of my favorite parts, and this is kind of embarrassing for me, but I actually didn't notice, and I'm embarrassed about this, that the helmet is kind of being previewed throughout the trailer, and then it inevitably gets kind of pieced together into what the logo actually is. Did you kind of want that Easter egg type of feeling? Even though it's a short video and most people probably only watch it once, there's still that vibe that there's something deeper.
Something deeper is a really good way to say it. We wanted there to be a lot of richness to it. We worked with a local production company called Triple Threat Productions, as well as a really talented local illustrator who gave it kind of that street art feel. There were a lot of different influences we want to incorporate, like comic comic books, obviously gaming, the Aurora Borealis, runes, like all this Nordic stuff that we wanted to be in there. So what we did was we kind of collaged it and layered it to make it feel really rich. The way that we were able to tie all of that together was by putting the helmet in there and kind of exposing the different parts of it throughout the gaming sequence. And then you get to kind of back up from it and see that it's this face, and then that eye snaps on, and it's
I actually didn't even
exciting.
notice that, like when I was watching it initially.
Yeah,
I'm
a lot
glad it
of
wasn't
times.
just me then.
A lot of people don't notice that at first, but I think that's kind of part of why it's interesting, is it's the kind of a video that you can watch a few times and you're going to see more stuff.
I mean, for such a short video and for what a reveal is, you know, there's a lot of different ways that we could have done it, but you know, the way that it ended up coming together, I think is so perfect. Saint, where do you feel, you know, we are kind of in progress? Like obviously we just announced our fifth player last week. Do you want to just go in a little bit into our roster, who's on the team, why do we feel good going forward as Minnesota ROKKR with these guys?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, our team, for those of you who don't know, consists of Silly, Assault, ROKKR, Alex, and ASIM. I think we have 5 players here who all come in with a great mindset every day. There's not really going to be any ego clashes or, you know, people who put themselves ahead of the team. I think everyone here is, you know, team first, and everyone's going to be making selfless plays to, you know, for the betterment of the team. And I think just every day, like once our facilities finish and like once we're all here practicing together, I just think our practices are, you know, going to be super productive every day. People know how to take blame and accountability and use that to further themselves and not really just push it aside and like put it on someone else.
Why do we feel like Alex and his team complement Silly, Assault, and ROKKR so well, especially on a game like Modern Warfare?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like with like the core 3 that we had, we definitely wanted 2 more players who are more SMG based, and just having players like that, you know, who just bring like a lot of skill and like a lot of slaying Alex can bring. I think just round out the team really well, because I mean, you have Alex, ROKKR, and Silly who can all, you know, slay and get those kills really well. You have Assault who's, you know, going to be holding things down. He won Champs MVP 2 years ago, and ASIM is kind of that new player, that breakout player who, you know, just started last year with FaZe, and you know, he has a high ceiling.
The first event was announced today, January 24, 25, and 26 here in Minneapolis. What can people expect?
First of all, we're so excited to be able to bring the first event of this league to Minnesota, and it's such an incredible opportunity for us as a new organization to kick off the season. You know, here the Armory is an amazing venue. You know, as far as the event itself, we're going to put out all the details for the event in the next couple weeks, but we can tell everyone we're going to have an amazing experience that'll be every bit on par with, you know, with what you've seen at either, you know, big time esports events, CWL events, what other traditional sports teams have done in this market. But there'll be 3 days of competition, you know, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Our team will play twice during that span. But again, we're just so excited to bring that first event to Minnesota and to start off the season.
But no, this was great. This was kind of like our big like brand, you know, little party. Feels great to have you guys here kind of in the chat, you know, celebrating with us, asking us questions. Thank you again so much for watching. I appreciate it. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your night, and stay tuned for more content and just more everything Minnesota ROKKR.